Welcome to our Sunday night Zoom. I'm so excited to be on here. Um, I am just really pumped up about the direction that our team is going, a lot of the excitement that I'm seeing in our teams, the way that I'm seeing our leaders rise up, and especially being challenged. Those of you who have leaders who have made it into the Road to Kona Challenge, you are going to have the repercussion blessing of them being in there because they are learning such amazing things, not only for themselves, but also to be able to pass on to you. And I know that I have learned so many things. I am in Monica's group. Monica is a Sapphire, and she's just smart and very, like, she handles situations on the chat, like when somebody says something that's maybe not the right mindset, she kind of just gently redirects, and I'm like, ooh, I can learn some things from her, even in redirecting myself or helping you redirect you. But I know I've already learned a lot just from 1 week of being in Road to Kona. So if you were bummed that you didn't make it into Road to Kona, I just want to encourage you and say, your leader did, and you're going to learn so much from your leader. So look to your leader. Do what they say. They know what they're talking about. Don't do your own thing. Okay? Sometimes people will take it and then do their own thing. Don't do your own thing. I tried that with Wendy in the beginning, where she'd tell me to do something, and I'm like, and then anytime I did what she told me, it worked. Okay? And so listen to your leader, because they are getting trained by the best right now. And I'm just really excited. I'm so excited. Even those of us who are in it, we've kind of got a little chat where we're learning from one another what the other ones are learning from their leaders, so that we've kind of got this, not only are we learning from the leader in our group, but we're learning from one another what they're learning from their leaders. And so, like, when you think of that, we've got, I mean, there's several jewels, but we're not in all of the groups. Like, if I could have, I would have made sure there was one in each, but we're not. You know, we're basically gleaning knowledge from somebody in Wendy's. There's nobody in Wendy's. Nobody's in Wendy's. Okay. So Stacy, Andrea's in Stacy's. Beth and Melissa are in Casey's. Casey Bogle, who's a firecracker, right? Jane is in Rachel's. I'm in Monica's. Who am I missing? Amy is, and Janet is in Ruthie's, who is a diamond. And then Amy is in, who's Amy's in? Amy, who are you in? Help me out.
I'm in Janelle's.
Janelle's, oh yes, I love Janelle. So we have, like, all of those jewels basically are training our leaders, and then we're exchanging information, and it's really exciting. And I know that it's going to help our team. I've already seen it, and that's the fun thing, is I'm in all of the leaders' chats, and I'm seeing them applying what they're learning in how they're leading you. That's really exciting. I shouldn't say I'm in all of them, but I'm in my level 1 leaders chats. And so I'm really excited about this. I'm super excited. And I'm seeing all of you rising up to the challenges that your leaders are putting out there. And that's amazing. It's super exciting. So today, though, I wanted to come on here and talk more about mindset. I feel I've talked about, and I've asked Jane and Andrea to also share a little bit about it as well. But this whole aspect of getting out of our own way. We've always said that doing Plexus is not hard. Anybody can do it. It's really about repetitive action every day will produce results. And I believe that 100%. But I think the one thing that can get in the way of your success is you. Okay? Is your mindset, what you're saying to yourself. And I have to tell you that this is a constant struggle. I am senior Ruby working towards Emerald, and I still have to fight my own head garbage all the time. Okay? And so I've got a few things that I wanted to share, and then I've also asked Jane and Andrea to share how they've, kind of risen above that too, or work to rise above it. Because I've had these, conversations with my level ones. I've had conversations like this with Beth and Jane and Andrea about, maybe we're going through some head trash and trying to fight that. The first thing is, if you're going through head trash, talk to your sponsor about it. Don't put the head trash on the chats, okay? We want to reserve chats for positivity, progress, team action, team excitement. We definitely share prayer requests on there. I think that's important, that we lift each other up in prayer. But if you're struggling with some head trash, go to your sponsor and talk about it in person, okay? Or on the phone, okay? Reason being is we want those chats, and you're gonna find this out once you have your own team chat. You want it to be positive, upbeat, exciting. You don't want your new person to come on and the first thing that they see be like, oh, nobody's responding to me, and right? Like, you don't want your new person to see that. And so come and talk, if you're my level one, come and talk to me if you're feeling that way. If you're Jane's level one, go and talk to her. If you're Janet's level one, go and talk to her. We'll help you out of that place. We don't want to say, just stuff it, right? Go ahead and come and talk to us. We need to help you through that because we've all been there. And so I want to say these feelings are real. You're going to battle them throughout this business unless you're like the most confident, amazing person in the world. I am not. Like, every single jewel that I've talked to has dealt with head trash. I don't know of anybody who's been like, oh yeah, I've been fine the whole way. I don't think that's realistic. Everybody has struggled with the no's. And that was one of the things I wanted to talk about, because I realized that we have some new people in here. Melissa had shared, I think it was Melissa, yeah, that Casey had talked about the analogy with offering the coffee, and I know that I've shared about that, Jane shared about that, but now we have new people on here too who maybe haven't heard it. So the no's, if you think about it as a waitress going around, she never gets her feelings hurt from somebody saying no more coffee, right? That's really, they're basically saying no for now, and it just means no, that's not going to be them. Maybe it will be in the future. So like, learning how not to take that personal is huge. And then I also liked something that Casey had shared, that Melissa had shared, was make sure you respond something positive afterwards or something personal afterwards, so that you're not just giving them cold turkey after they say no. Okay, you want to say, oh, thanks so much for your response. I appreciate knowing that. It's so fun to see your kids growing up. It looks like they're really thriving and swimming or whatever it is, right? Shift it to that personal again, so that you're not just ignoring them when they say no. Because again, this is about relationships. But just don't let those no's get in your way. In fact, remember that for every, what do they say, 7 to 10 no's, you get a yes. So just know that, hey, I'm ticking it off until my next yes, right? Those are, go for no is what that book talks about. And then the other thing, because I teach on this every semester in interpersonal communication with identity and people's self-confidence, and we can get into a positive mindset cycle, or we can be in a negative mindset cycle. Who can relate to that, right? How many of you have been in both? Okay, I know I have. And so, but it is a cycle, because positive, like, I can't do this, I keep on getting no's, right? So then I'm going to send out these messages, but I don't really believe anybody's going to respond. So guess what? Results are nobody's going to respond, because it comes through on your messages. It does. But also our mindset has power. And so, like, when you hear yourself say I can't, and this is one of the ones I struggle with every day, and I know that a lot of us do, because many of us are working full-time jobs while doing this. And sometimes it feels like a lot. And I know Monica shared on one of our Zooms recently that she was feeling the same way, Sapphire feeling the same way. She's got 3 kids. They're living in a, not a trailer, but a camper right now while their house is being built. And yeah, with little kids. And she was just sharing how she was feeling like that overwhelmed, like I can't do this all. And we've all felt that. I feel that all the time. And she really said, you're right, you can't. But she really encouraged us to pray and to know that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. And whether you are somebody who believes in God or not, it's true of you as well in the aspect of your mind has power. So whether you're religious or not, your mind has power. If you're saying I can't, you need to switch it to I can. However you need to do, if you need to go and take a walk or meditate or whatever it might be, whatever gets you grounded to be in that positive I can. For me, it's prayer. And for Monica, it was prayer. And she talked about that, like, stop trying to white knuckle it yourself, you know? So just switching that I can't over to I can. And sometimes it just takes that stepping back, counting your blessings. And I'm so excited about our Healthy Habits Challenge because we are incorporating gratitude, because I believe that that's part of this I can't to I can is gratitude. Thank you. Okay, I'm feeling overwhelmed. Thank you for my health. Thank you for my team. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my family. Thank you for my husband, who's my cheerleader. You know what I mean? It's very different than being like, and I fell into this week. I know I probably left Andrea a pretty negative message because I was like, oh my gosh, this one student is driving me absolutely insane, you know? But I can get stuck in that too. And so it isn't a very positive. The more I say that, well, then that just eats me alive, right? But then when I shift into gratitude of saying, okay, thank you for my job, thank you for, it's a complete shift. And I constantly battle that, constantly. And so if you're battling that, know it's normal, but continue to work on it because we have power over our mind. We have complete power over our mind to shift into the I can. And the positive self-talk that says, I can do this. Two other things that I'm gonna save them. I'm gonna let Jane and then Andrea go. And then if I have time at the end for the last two things, I'll wrap those up at the end. Okay, because I don't wanna talk the whole time. But those are, like, your words just have power over your mindset, and a lot of it, I want to stress keeping it out of the chats. Okay, if you're feeling discouraged, keep the discouragement out of the chats. We want you to be real with us, but we want the chats to be positive, uplifting, celebratory. Does that make sense? Just that positive climate is what we're looking for. But also we want to be real with each other and come and talk to us. We'll help you out of that garbage. You know, we'll help shift your mindset. So Jane is going to talk about something she's really good about talking about, and that's the no excuses.
Yeah, you know me. I was going to start kind of right off where Catherine left off, where your words have power. All last week, I talked to my students, my fourth graders, about this. I said, your words have power, whether they are positive or negative. Saying a kind thing to somebody can make their day. Saying one little not so great comment can crush somebody for a long time. And I guess I see this as an example with my own kids. When my son even has somebody doubting in him as a friend, it bothers him for weeks. And I think about that with us as adults. Oftentimes we hold in those feelings way better than a 9-year-old would. And we let that sit and fester though. And then it comes into that next part of our lives of where those things get in our head. We're telling ourselves, oh, I just don't have this, or I can't, I won't. And you start taking that head trash and turning it into excuses. I always chuckle at this one because Janet always laughs at me when I say this whole busy word. I don't do the busy word very well. When people say, well, I'm busy. I'm sorry, you can be busy rocking in a rocking chair. All busy is something that fills your time, and you choose it. You choose your own busy. Guys, I choose my own busy. It's total chaos, but I love it. I love every bit of it. So when people go, oh, I don't know how you can do it. It doesn't matter how I can do it. And some days I don't do it because I choose that chaos. I thrive on that chaos. When I don't have it is when you're going to see me go quiet, because I let too much happen up here that maybe isn't productive. I've had people say things to me like, oh, did you hear about? And I'm like, no. First of all, I've got enough going on in my life. I don't need to hear about anybody else's life when they're trying the whole gossip thing. I've used that busyness in my own head keeps me out of trouble. It keeps me out of other people's business that is not mine because I have enough going on myself. However, busy should not be an excuse. It should not be an excuse because you will fit priorities in. You just will. Let me give you a quick little picture of what my days have looked like the beginning of the school year. And this is not for pity party. This is not for comparison, because comparison doesn't help anybody. It's what I've chosen. I get up at 4:30 in the morning because I know I won't fit everything in otherwise. I get ready. I get on my power hour by 5:15 on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. If it's not a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I still do my power hour by myself at 5:15. It is a routine. It is a habit. And we're going to be getting into these habits that we're talking about. Do I love getting up at 4:30? No. But I have developed a habit. My why is big enough that I will do it. It is temporary. Temporary could even be 5 years. I don't care. It's worth it. I believe that. Okay. So my power hour at 5:15, I am getting myself all ready for school by 6, got my kids up by 6:30, out the door by a little after 7. I'm at school all day. I get home about 5. Most days I have roping or writing lessons by 5:30. I go up to my parents' house for roping or writing lessons, I usually get home about 7:30, get my kids fed, get them in the bath by 8:30, hopefully get Giselle in bed by 9, and then I'm like, crap, I still have schoolwork to do. But you know what? I do it because I want that time in the morning for my power hour. I want that focus for plexus. Crazy, right? Like total chaos. But I choose it because all of those things are things I love. They're things that I see growing. They're things that have helped me grow personally. Now, with all that being said, don't get me wrong, I crash. I'm still human. I crash. When Catherine talks about that head trash and talking, oh yeah, a couple weeks ago, I'm on the phone. Just losing it, you guys. I'm not going to lie. I was losing it. And what bugged me the most was that I was recognizing that I was losing it. I was ticked off that I wasn't doing what I knew I wanted to do. But I worked through it. I did recognize it. I did step up and I made a change. That's that emotional maturity thing that you'll hear talked about also, is not letting yourself just fall into the pits of poor me. I have no time. And nothing is for me. Oh my gosh, I'm always running. Cut the excuses. If you want it, you'll do it. Whew. That was harsh, wasn't it? I'm like, I can't help it, but I love you guys. And I know that if you do stay consistent and keep hustling, you will move up. You will benefit from it greatly. And the people that you'll help along the way, holy cow. So believe in yourself and quit giving yourself excuses. Get them out of your head. Boom.
Love
Passing it on.
it. Yeah, and you have to find what your day will look like. That's what Jane does. But maybe yours is at night. Maybe yours is on your lunch hour. Maybe yours is 3 15-minute increments throughout the day. I can't tell you how many times it's that for me. Now, here's the biggest thing is make your IPA a priority. And this is my biggest struggle, because what I want to do first is open all of your messages to me. Okay, see what's going on there first, and that can take up my whole IPA, and that's what we call management mode. Put your IPA first. Okay, don't open the other messages unless they're prospects. They're part of IPA then, right? Follow up. But when it comes to team messages, try to do your IPA first. That's my biggest struggle, because everything in me wants to check the messages first. But like selecting which ones to open, but do your reach outs, do your posts, things like that. But find what works for you and take control of your life. And yes, if we have kids, we know that that doesn't always work the way we want it to, right? You might get up in the morning and your kid gets up too early and changes everything, right? But we roll with it. But try to find your blocks, communicate to your family your blocks. This is where I'm working. This is where I need undivided attention. And take control of your life, because otherwise we do that. I just have too much. I just can't. I'm too busy, right? But if we take control, then we don't have those excuses. So I agree, 100%. Okay, Andrea, what do you have to share?
Okay, I feel like I'm going to duplicate a lot here. So I think I'll just speak from my heart and what I feel like I struggle with and getting my own way. And then I like practical tips, so I'll just share some things that work for me too. So, oftentimes I hear myself saying all the things that you just talked about. I'm too busy. I'm working full time. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. What am I doing? I don't have enough time. And then it gets into that negative cycle, that negative mindset. And I just realize how much time that takes out of if you were just focusing on the positive and able to just dive right into that IPA, Catherine, or messaging those people or putting up a post and being authentic and real and excited about it. Because when you're negative, that's everybody is going to notice. You can't hide that. You might think you can, but you can't. And so I think, even though I've been doing this for 2 years, I was doing that last week. I did the poor me. And it was like, I constantly find myself having to pull myself out of it. But I feel like the more I've been doing this, the more tools I have to do that, and the quicker I can get myself out of the rut. So if you find that you're getting yourself into that negative mindset, it's okay. But keep pulling yourself out. Talk with your sponsor, just like Catherine said. We can help you through that, because it happens to all of us. Okay, we're definitely not perfect. So I find in myself, when I get overwhelmed, I shut down. And so for me, what helps to not get, when I'm super busy, I need structure. I need something concrete. And so what Catherine said, my first thing on my little notes here that I wrote when you asked me to speak a little was IPA, prioritizing IPA. Because when I check my messages and I get a person messaging me that says, you know what, I tried Plexus, it's just not for me. And so all of a sudden I start reading these negative messages. Not that all my messages are negative, but if that happens, then all of a sudden it puts me in that negative mindset too. And then all of a sudden it's, now I'm tired, it's too late. Okay, I'll just wake up early and do like double my IPA tomorrow. But then I wake up in that negative mindset and I'm like, oh shoot, I should have done my IPA, and then my kids. And then it's like, it's just that negative cycle. So IPA first. Definitely prioritize that. I find myself reminding myself of my why. We spent time making a vision board. Oh gosh, I don't know how long ago that was, Catherine, we came to your house. So if you haven't done a vision board and really thought about what your why is it getting out of debt? That's for me. Wanting more freedom and adventures with my family. So, I mean, whatever, I won't spend time telling you all about my why, but what is your why? and remind yourself of that in those times where you're feeling stuck and overwhelmed and like you can't do this, okay? Because your why is so powerful, okay? It'll help pull you out of that. For me personally, I'm an affirmation quote nerd. You all know that. So I find myself digging into my quote book or going through daily devotions, or honestly, sometimes I Google. I follow people on Instagram that post positive quotes all the time, so I'll go through that. I'll watch YouTube videos, diamond documentaries, whatever is inspirational and motivational. Okay, none of that negative stuff, only uplifting things. So that's helpful for me. I don't know if that's something that could work for you as well. I've been implementing the 5-4-3-2-1 by Mel Robbins that we learned at convention too. I find myself actually doing that quite a bit. So if you haven't heard about Mel Robbins and her 5-4-3-2-1 method, YouTube it. It's awesome. It's one way to get those negative thoughts out of your mind. And so I find myself doing that. Okay, I'm too busy. Oh, maybe I'll just do it in the morning. No, Andrea, 5-4-3-2-1, do it. Like, just do it now or else I'm going to regret it later, right? And then also remember the power of a team. We're not doing this alone, and you're not going to be able to do it alone. So if you're feeling a little bit stuck, you're feeling down, yes, talk to your sponsor, but then remember to go to your team too, okay? There's so much energy and so much positivity that the team can bring, and that can even bring you up too, okay? Go back to thinking about what your team has done the last few weeks. Start doing shout outs, okay? You need to bring that positivity back up in your team, and that can boost yourself up too when doing that. And then I wrote down, number 1, you have to make a decision to get out of your own way. A decision, like make a choice right now to get out of your own way. If you're not willing to make that choice right now, nothing's going to change. So make that choice. And I'll end there.
Yes. Again, preach it, right? I love it. I loved all of it. And like the get out of your own way, you do have to make that decision, because I know that, and we call it taking your thoughts captive, and just being like, okay, I'm done with that one, let's throw it away. Because otherwise what you're doing, and I just taught them this week, we ruminate. And it's the difference between, and liking on the terminology, it doesn't matter, but having emotions that debilitative emotions or facilitative emotions. And it all has to do with how long you let yourself be there. Okay? If you stay there, guess what? Rumination will just bring you down, 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 down. And the length, they call it intensity of the feeling, and the duration is the difference between debilitative emotions and facilitative emotions. So if you're feeling those emotions, you need to say, stop it, get the heck out of here, come and talk to us and we'll tell you, stop it, right? And then it becomes facilitative. It can forge you into action, because action cures everything on this. Wendy talks about it all the time. Feeling discouraged, start doing IPA. Feeling discouraged, start doing shout outs for your team, like Andrea said, positive things. Feeling discouraged, go listen to a positive podcast. Action cures everything. Sitting and feeling sorry for yourself will just end you down in the dumps. Okay? Absolutely.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'd love to add to that. I don't know how many of you know, because I haven't shared it that much or promoted it, but if you are on Team Wellness Momentum Makers, there is a file. I believe it's a file, correct? With the How I Plexus videos.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys, if you have not looked at them, they are 2 minutes or less. They are real. These are people you know that are sharing how they plexus. And you're going to see everything and everybody. There's so much diversity, and yet you can see how they can make this work. Just had to throw that in there.
Very good. Yes. And because we're doing mentioning things that are going on, I don't want to forget or run out of time. We have our Healthy Habits Challenge starting tomorrow. All of you should be inviting all of your ambassadors or customers to join you in that, because retention is huge. Getting your team to understand that the products aren't going to make them thin without healthy habits with it. When people join for just the weight loss, okay, we need to get these healthy habits alongside of it. It's going to help with your retention. So message every single one of your ambassadors, every single one of your customers, and invite them to be a part of our Healthy Habits Challenge that's starting tomorrow. Andrea just posted about it today. So you should everybody should be invited to that. Okay, a few other things that I had. I loved that, Andrea, where you said just keep your why in front of you. We can lose sight of that. Charles and I were just talking about budget. Same thing. It's like we can be on a budget and then fly by the seat of our pants. Well, guess what? You lose sight of your goals then, don't you, if you don't keep them in front of you. So keep your why in front of you, keep your goals in front of you. Make them visual in your house, wherever you need to put them, right? Okay, I got two more things. Stop beating yourself up. Okay? That's not going to get you anywhere. If you find yourself beating yourself up, saying, I can't, I'm not very good at this, oh, they don't like me, any kind of negative talk, again, it's not helping you. And so switch it into some of those positive affirmations that says, why am I such a caring hope dealer? I don't know, that whole why thing. Why am I such a great leader? Why am I such a great friend? Because I'm sharing hope and health and happiness with my friends. That's why I'm a great friend, because I know that this will help every single person, and stop focusing on the negative. So that's a great one to, a few books. If you haven't read The Secret Code of Success, that's what I'm talking about. It's the difference between saying, I'm a great leader, to why am I such a great leader? Why am I such a great leader makes you search for your talents. I'm such a great leader, you might say, no, I'm not. But if I say, why am I such a great leader? Then you start thinking about, oh, so that's a really good book. If you haven't listened to that or read it, Secret Code of Success. The other ones that I've read to help my head trash is What to Say When You're Talking to Yourself. And that's all about getting that negative self-talk out of there. That one's kind of a harder read in the beginning, but has some really good application at the end. And then two other ones that have naughty words in them, but are very effective. Get Over Your Damn Self. And is that one. That's the name of the first book. It's called Get Over Your Damn Self. And then the other one is You Are a Bad Butt. Okay, except it doesn't say butt. Okay, that's the one I'm listening to right now. And it's really about just like taking charge, right? And it's like, it's empowering. So if you're not reading books like this, Jean's laughing at me because I won't say the word, even though never mind. Okay. So those are some good books. Sorry. I just sent my husband a meme about it tonight because he hates it when I swear, when I get really mad. And it's
Catherine JW calls it a BA.
A VA. Okay, there you go. Yeah. He doesn't like it when I swear, and I sent him this meme that said something about swearing, and it says, I wouldn't be swearing at my kids if they didn't make me lose my, and then it says, the S word. So it's kind of funny because I'm like, right? Anyway, don't report me. Okay, so that's the other one. Last one, because I feel like this is, there's two. Okay. I feel like this is one where people get stuck in a lot of head trash, and that is comparison is the thief of joy. Don't compare your journey to anybody else on this. Don't say, oh, that person got to silver already, I'm not there yet. Or that person got to gold already. That will rob you of your joy. Don't compare your rank to anybody else's rank. Don't compare your success to anybody else's success. Don't compare your number of ambassadors to anybody else's success. Do we use that competitive edge to drive us? Yes. I mean, sometimes it drives us, right? Oh, somebody else got an ambassador. Okay, I'm going to get one too. But if you let that comparison take over it will rob you of your joy, and it will send you into a downward spiral and that rumination and that negativity. Okay? You're on your own journey. And so make it yours. And don't compare yourself to anybody else, because you will be successful if you keep going. And then know that that positivity versus negativity has an impact on your team. When you disappear because you're struggling, guess what? Your team will start to disappear too. So you need to be out in front. You need to be that positive force. You need to get rid of your head trash, not only for you, but for your team. Okay? It says I have less than a minute, so I want to say bye. Thank you so much for being on here. I'm so excited for where we're headed. Super excited. So thank you so much, Jane and Andrea, for sharing tonight as well. Good stuff. Okay? Thanks for coming, everyone.